EBITDA increased by 11% to 24.11 crores. Profit after tax was marginally down by 3% to 8.23 crores due to higher tax. For quarter one this year, grew around 6% to for quarter one increased 4% over year, and the EBITDA increased 5% to 5.78 crores. We expect similar good results for quarter two. However, the good news is the company continues to strengthen its base of operations and optimizes business processes to boost growth. Our prefab division expansion is complete and its operations will start generating additional revenue, hopefully next quarter. This is excellent news for your company, and this will undoubtedly result in quarter three and quarter four results that will drive this year's performance to record levels. As you know, we raised 4.7 crores through a preferential issue to fund the aforementioned growth. Given the company's expected growth, increased working capital needs and expansion needs, the company considered it prudent to conserve its reserves and maintain dividend at 5% per share. The company is conscious of the corporate social responsibilities. As part of the CSR activities, the company contributes to various implementing agencies in the area of health, education, including schools for specially able children. Your company is well positioned to capitalize on the opportunities that lie ahead. I'm confident that our strategic initiatives combined with a strong execution capabilities and efficiencies will drive continued growth and success. And the aforementioned growth plans will be an integral part of the future of our company. Our goal is to balance growth with financial stability, ensuring sustained long-term value creation for our stakeholders. I take this opportunity to thank our distinguished board members for their continued leadership and unwavering support. I also want to express an appreciation to the dedicated employees for their dedication, commitment, and sincere service. I extend my gratitude to the various government regulatory authorities, the company's valued customers, suppliers, vendors, banks, depositors, and all the other valued shareholders for their consistent and resolute cooperation and trust. But most of all, I wish to thank you, our valued shareholders, for your continued trust and confidence in the management of your company. Now, with your permission, we will take up the agenda on behalf of the directors.
Which is basically our packaging and insulation and the prefab division. As it stands, it is about 60%. It's about 40% for the EPS division and 60% for the prefab division. That's number one. Number two, I think they said what was the growth parameters for the EPS division. As far as the insulation division, it is lower than the prefab division. Generally, our insulation and packaging division only grows about 5 to 6% a year. Our prefab division generally grows 10 to 12% a year. Okay. Now, the third thing that they mentioned was, I think, what will happen to our growth as far as the prefab division. The EPS division is not going to grow much. We have invested most of our funds in the prefab division. The capex that we have done over the last 2 years was to build a new greenfield factory and also to increase the machinery and our production capacity for primarily our prefab division. So, as the chairman had said before, we are hoping that the third quarter and fourth quarter we will start to see results on that front. So that also counts. That also answers the capex question. Finally, as far as the EBIT growth, yes, we have done a lot of cost cutting and a lot of improvement in our operations. And I think our EBIT rate went from 4 or 5% to almost like 10% now. As far as we are concerned, at the most, we will gain another 2 to 3% in our efficiency. But based on our increased capacity, we're hoping over the next 2 quarters, we will raise that to 14 to 15%. Does that answer all your questions, sir?
Sahu, I think you can also share the written questions so that in the end, anything that has not been answered, we will make sure that it's answered.
Yeah, next speaker is Mr. Abhishek.
First of all, I congratulate the management on the eve of annual general body meeting. So trust all is well with you and your family in this challenging situation. Our company deserves much more respect than the current market cap. After completing more than a decade of successful operations, profitability, and becoming one of the strongest brand in the respective segment. Sir, as of date, how many employees are there in the company? What are the steps being taken by the management to reduce the other expenses, legal professional charges, and the audit fee? I'd like to know from you, sir. So then myself and my team are running a legal firm, running a legal firm in the name and style of Seven Wells Associates. I would request the management to kindly enroll the firm in the empowerment of the company, and we will be glad to extend our services. So then, I would like to know from the company, I would request the management to kindly consider hybrid AGMs in the years to come, sir, as most of the senior citizens are not able to join because of the digital challenges in this virtual platform. So if we can consider hybrid AGMs in the years to come, more number of shareholders can join in the meeting. You can get the valuable points, suggestions, and ideas. That would be helpful for the management to empower in the coming future. So I would request you to kindly look into, sir, and I would request you to kindly take part in con call, quarterly presentations, and meeting with global investors on a regular basis. This will in fact give a boom to the business. And what is the future capex plan for the company? I would like to know from you, sir. And how do we use artificial intelligence in our company? I would like to know from you, sir. And we can see that the company has stock is also not much improving, and it is going towards a downfall. What proactive steps have been taken by the management to improve the EPS, P ratio, return on equity? I'd like to know from you, sir. So then I would request you to kindly arrange for a planned visit for the shareholders as and when it is feasible. And since for the past 5 years, the shareholders are not able to meet you physically, and we are forced to meet you virtually, you may kindly arrange for a planned visit, sir, or you may try to consider hybrid AGMs in the years to come, and also kindly take care of the hospitality part of the shareholders, sir, who have joined this virtual conference by means of video conferencing. And whether the company stock is being listed in Bombay Stock Exchange, sir, kindly give us some data, sir, about the Bombay Stock Exchange, because we are facing technical difficulties, sir. And if it is listed only in National Stock Exchange, and I have in my family around 50 folios are there, sir. I voted all the folios in favor of the board, and for the past 5 years, we are there with the management and to support the management. So I request the management also to reciprocate to the shareholders, sir. There's nothing much to ask, sir. I wish the company and the board of directors great. I would request the management, sir, then I would request you to take all my questions in the right spirit and reward the shareholders, sir. I wish the company and the board of directors a great success and prosperity in the coming future. And thank you for giving the opportunity, sir. Hope to see you in the hybrid AGM next year. Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Abhishek. Yeah, as we mentioned, most of our capex was done in our prefab division. So as far as the EPS and the return on investment, we will start seeing that in the next 2 quarters. Based on that, I'm sure that the share price also will go up based on how good the market is. We have delisted from BSE partly due to for the same reasons that you're talking about. We have been trying to cut down our costs and not be wasteful with expenditure. So we are only listed on NSE now. So we also look forward to growing the company and giving back to the shareholders as soon as possible. Thank you.
Prashant Garg. Keshav Garg, sorry. I'm so sorry. Next speaker is Mr. Keshav Garg.
Sir, thank you very much for providing me this opportunity, sir. I would request you to kindly bear with me, sir, since shareholders get only one opportunity in a year. So, sir, kindly, I request your indulgence. Sir, now the thing is that, sir, if we see our track record, sir, it does not really inspire a lot of confidence. Sir, if you see, we are in this EPS business since 1967, but, sir, somehow we haven't really been able to scale up the business. Sir, if we see our EBITDA, which was 17 crore in FY17, is 18 crore in FY24. Sir, so after 7 years also, sir, and I'm not even including inflation. So in real terms, it is far lower than what it used to be. Sir, now secondly, if we see our trading business also, in which I understand we are Siemens representative in the south or something like that. Sir, over there also we have not been able to scale up. Sir, in FY15 the revenues were 21 crore, in FY24 they are 18 crore after 9 years. Sir, so basically, and sir, now in recent times capital goods have really picked up, and all capital good companies are at all-time highs and they are doing brisk business. So I don't understand how Siemens Motors we are not able to sell profitably. Sir, even in our, sir, it is encouraging that like you mentioned that we are now focusing on the prefab division, which I assume provides us higher margins, sir, because insulation business is just thermocol box. And sir, is there any chance of that getting banned? And sir, so is our capacity fungible between insulation and packaging and prefab? And sir, what is the expectation for FY25 in terms of top line as well as bottom line? And sir, did I hear you correctly that our margins you are expecting them to grow from, let's say, something like 9% last year to 14-15% by the fourth quarter? Sir, is that understanding correct? Is it realistic? And sir, is it sustainable, or it is just like because crude oil prices fell, so temporarily we'll get a boost and then again we will come down? So please tell your shareholders what to expect. Now, sir, what about the tax rate? Sir, what last year we paid 34% tax rate. So going forward in FY 25%, what is the tax rate expected to be? Now, sir, we have a huge receivable problem, sir. Receivable over 6 months is 14 crore. Last year we wrote off also 2.4 crores. Sir, and if we see the consolidated balance sheet, page number 167 of annual report, sir, I think there is some misprint. If you, so firstly, I don't understand what is a controlled entity. Sir, one is your subsidiary in which the consolidated numbers, the subsidiary will be basically subsumed. There will be no separate wholly owned subsidiary in consolidated numbers. But here, wholly owned subsidiary is shown even in consolidated numbers. And then, sir, there is something known as controlled entity. I don't know what a controlled entity means. Is it a group company of promoters or is it a subsidiary of Beardsell? Sir, now the sale to controlled entity is 7.6 crore. And sir, if you see the trade receivable is 35.8 crore. So like I'm not able to understand how can you make sales of 7.6 crore and the receivable due is 35.8 crore. That means since past many years receivable is due. And sir, if you consider the wholly subsidiary owned subsidiary also, the total receivable due is 35.8 crore plus 6.5, 42 crore, which is more than our total receivable of 41 crore. So I think it's a misprint. So please tell us what exactly the clear picture is. Sir, also advance from customers have gone down from 7.3 crore to 4.6 crore. So I hope this does not this does not portend a declining trend in our revenues. Sir, also last year AGM you mentioned that some Tamil Nadu government is coming out with some policy or something like that, which you were expecting a boost from. So has that materialized on the government policy front? And sir, who are our major competitors in prefab segment? And Sir, also last year the service income went up drastically from 20 crore to something like 37 crores. So I hope this is sustainable. And sir, last
Mr.
year we also
Keshav,
had.
Mr. Keshav, please limit your to your timeline, please.
Sir, basically, I have already sent my list of questions. So please tell us also what volumes you have done. Sir, I am just asking about the business related question. I am not giving some unrelated speech. And sir, I mean, in one for few minutes, you cannot spare for your shareholders in once a year. So that just
Mr.
shows
Keshav,
that.
so instead of going through, I'll go through the basic. So in the last 1 year, right, we also had our elections that are going on. So a lot of capex generally gets delayed because of that. You know how that works, right? So all our prefab division generally goes for capex for large companies. So that got a lot of delayed. So 1 to 1.5 quarters we lost in that. Regarding the motors division, like I said, we are concentrating more on the prefab division because the uh, margins are higher, right? And the textile industry within in South India has been going through a downturn. So that is the reason why that division has been going down. Now, as far as the EPS margins and whatnot, you're correct. The cost of oil plays a major role in that. We very closely track the prices of our raw materials and make sure that our selling price to our customer also, that if there's a price increase or whatnot, we pass it on as quickly as possible. So that margin management thing is almost like a month to month, week to week activity that we do, right? So the growth in the business, why you're saying from 2017 to now, because we had some issues with our Pune unit where we had to sustain some losses. So that controlled entity, and so the difference between a controlled entity and a fully owned entity is the controlled entity happens to be a partnership firm. So you're supposed to term it as a controlled entity, right? Whereas a wholly owned entity is a private limited company, which is fully owned by the company, right? So therefore, those revenues are directly shown on our P&L, right? As far as the future growth goes, business is very, very steady for us. We will continue to keep getting our order book, continue to grow our order book as needed. See, we are more worried about our margins and making sure that we keep our profitability up because we don't want to go for business that is not profitable, right? So over the next 2 years or so, that is going to be our primary focus. I hope that answered most of your questions.
Next speaker is Mr. J. Bulu Pusli. Sir, please.
I think he may not be online, so he's not responding. You can proceed for the next speaker, please.
Mr. C.V. Ravi, please. Next speaker, Mr. C.V. Ravi.
Also seems to have logged off.
Mr. Ravi, are you available? Okay. Next one is Mr. Sugesh. Mr. Sugesh, kindly unmute and speak, please. Mr. Sugesh.
Hello.
Go ahead, Mr. Sukesh.
Hello. Hi. I got the clarification what Amrit has explained. I'm okay with that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next is Mr. Rangarajan. I think he has not joined. So, N. Sumati.
I think she's online.
No, she is also not. Yeah.
Okay, she's shown as a participant, but not online.
If she is online, she can unmute and speak, please. Ms. Sumati. Next is Mavila Chandran. You can speak.
हेलो यस बोलिए जी मैडम जी मैडम थैंक यू
I think they are also not able to. Okay. Surya. Available. Muthuswamy Ganesh. Gomati. There's no other speaker present.
Okay. I hope the persons who are. By the way, the people who have sent in their questions, do we reply to them individually?
Take care
Or
of the replies.
yeah, just take care because in case they were not able to ask, and if anything, if whatever we have said is not covered, please reply to them with that. Okay. I hope your questions have been answered. As I mentioned earlier, the venue voting window would remain open for another 5 minutes after the